Top 12 Fastest Beautiful Cars. McLaren Speedtail. One of the newest cars on our list, the McLaren Speedtail was launched in 2019 and is considered the spiritual successor to the iconic F1. But that's mainly because it's a three-seater layout with the driver in the middle. Unlike other cars on this list, Speedtail is a hybrid that combines his 4.0-liter twin-turbocharged V8 petrol engine with an electric motor. McLaren says the Speedtail can reach 250 miles per hour, making it the company's fastest vehicle to date. However, the British company has yet to prove that Speedtail can actually do that. Horsepower, 1035 horsepower, torque, 848 pound-feet, 0 to 60 miles per hour, 2.5 seconds, estimate, top speed, 250 miles per hour. Bugatti Veyron. The fourth Bugatti on our list, the standard Veyron, is the first production car to break the 250 miles per hour mark. He did. Equipped with an early version of his W16 of 8.0 liters, the Veyron on April 19, 2005 he reached a top speed of 253.8 miles per hour. That record was held for his 2 years, but was beaten by his version of Supersport and its successor Chiron. This is the only Bugatti on the list that produces less than 1,000 horsepower. The W16 used in the original Veyron puts out 987 horsepower and 922 pounds-to-foot of torque. Horsepower, 987 horsepower, torque, 922 pound-feet, 0 to 60 miles per hour, 2.8 seconds, top speed, 254 horsepower. SSC Ultimate Arrow. The Ultimate Arrow is the car that briefly stole the record from the Bugatti Veyron. Until the Veyron Supersport brought it back. SSC set a record in 2007 with his version of this car twin-turbo. The Ultimate Arrow reached a top speed of 256.1 miles per hour somewhere in West Richland and held that record until 2010. The Ultimate Arrow was discontinued in 2013 after several limited edition models, but SSC is now working on a new contender for the fastest production car in the world. Tuatara. The record-breaking car came out with 1,183 horsepower and a cock of 1,094 pounds-to-foot. But SSC increased the power output to 1,300 horses towards the end of production. Also replaced his original 6.3-liter V8 engine with his 6.9-liter engine. Horsepower, 1,183 horsepower, torque, 1,094 pound-feet, 0 to 60 miles per hour, 2.7 seconds, top speed, 256 miles per hour. Koenigsegg Agera R. The Agera RS may be the fastest of its kind, but the Agera R isn't far behind either. Produced from 2011 to 2014, the Agera R was powered by the company's legendary 5.0-liter V8 engine capable of producing up to 1,124 horsepower and 885 pounds-to-foot of torque. The Swedish company used this car with which he set several production car records in 2011, but these were eventually set back by the Agera RS. Although it failed to set a top speed record, the Agera R was nearly as fast as the Bugatti Veyron Supersport at 260 miles per hour. This benchmark is his fifth on the list, and his second for Koenigsegg to be in the top 10. Horsepower, 1,124 horsepower, torque, 885 pound-feet, 0 to 60 miles per hour, 2.7 seconds, top speed, 260 miles per hour. Bugatti Chiron. The standard Bugatti Chiron made the list as one of 4 Bugattis. Introduced in 2016 as the successor to the Veyron, the Chiron retains the quad-turbo W16 engine, but power output he has been up to 1,479 horsepower and 1,180 pounds-to-foot of torque. The Chiron's top speed is officially capped at 261 miles per hour, which is slightly lower than the Veyron Supersport. The Chiron Supersport, on the other hand, tops the list at over 300 miles per hour, so you know there's a lot of potential under the hood. Horsepower, 1,479 horsepower, torque, 1,180 pound-feet, 0 to 60 miles per hour, 2.6 seconds, top speed, 261 miles per hour. Bugatti Veyron Supersport. The Bugatti Veyron may be 16 in 2021, but it's still one of the fastest supercars of all time. In fact, the record Bugatti set in his 2010 Veyron top speed of 267.8 miles per hour puts him in 4th place. This benchmark is achieved with an enhanced model called the Veyron Supersport. Bugatti has produced a special 30 of his cars called the World Record Edition to commemorate the event, but these cars are limited to 258 miles per hour to save tires. The Supersport was also the most powerful version of the Veyron, with an 8.0-liter W16 engine producing 1,184 horsepower, 197 horsepower more than the standard model. Horsepower, 1,184, torque, 1,106, 0 to 60 miles per hour, 2.6 seconds, top speed, 268. Hennessy Venom GT. The Venom GT was introduced in 2011 and was in production until 2017. Despite its seemingly longevity, only 13 were built. Based on the Lotus Exige with significant improvements, the Venom GT has his 7.0-liter V8 twin-turbo engine under the hood. Based on General Motors LS7 V8, the unit develops a maximum of 1,244 horsepower and 1,155 pounds-to-foot of torque. The Venom GT reached its top speed in February 2014 on the Kennedy Space Center shuttle runway in Florida when it clocked 270.4 miles per hour. Although the speed exceeded the world record at the time, Hennessy's run was one-way, so it did not qualify for the Guinness World Records. Only a limited edition of 13 units also broke the Guinness rules. Horsepower, 1,244 horsepower, torque, 1,155 pound-feet, 0 to 60 miles per hour, 2.7 seconds, top speed, 270 miles per hour. Koenigsegg Agera RS. Agera's most powerful version, the Agera RS, became the world's fastest car in November 2017 when Koenigsegg achieved an average speed of 277.9 miles per hour. Although this record only lasted for less than 2 years, the Agera RS managed several such as acceleration from 0 to 200 miles per hour, braking from 200 to 0 miles per hour, and return from 0 to 200 miles per hour to stop. Holds benchmarks for unlike Bugatti, Koenigsegg did not build a limited edition Agera RS to commemorate the record, and the RS itself was limited to his 25 units. Horsepower, 1,341 horsepower, torque, 1,160 pound-feet, 0 to 60 miles per hour, 2.6 seconds, top speed, 278 miles per hour. SSC Tuatara. Controversy over top speed records is not uncommon, especially when it comes to breaking the once mythical and utterly impossible 300 miles per hour record. It all started in October 2020 when his SSC Tuatara reached a top speed of 531 km per hour. It only took a few hours for people to start pointing out discrepancies in the video, and in fact failed to verify what should have been a record run, wanting to prove that the SSC Tuatara is the fastest car in the world. His SSC, who is in charge, made a second attempt. Unfortunately, this second attempt of his was not as good as the first, but he set an official record of 282.6, overtook the Koenigsegg Agera RS from his second position, and made the Bugatti Chiron Supersport 300 Plus the current it remains the fastest car in the world. There has been much controversy in the past about the SSC Tuatara's top speed, but it seems that a conclusion has finally been reached. The automaker decided to lay it all to rest by trying another run and putting all the skeptics to rest. It's not 316 miles per hour, more than 300 miles per hour, but it's definitely better than 282.6 miles per hour. Horsepower, 1,750 horsepower, torque, 1,280 pound-feet, 0 to 60 miles per hour, 2.5 seconds, top speed, 295 miles per hour, 316 unverified. Bugatti Chiron Supersport 30. With a top speed of around 420 km per hour, the standard Bugatti Chiron is already one of the fastest cars in the world, but the French wanted to set a new record, so they created an even more powerful beast. Bugatti was rated at 1,578 horsepower, 99 horsepower more than the standard Chiron, and increased the length of the car by about 10 inches. The modified car he recorded a top speed of 304.7 miles per hour on August 2nd. To celebrate the same, Bugatti is building a production model based on a prototype called the Chiron Supersport 300 Plus. This car is limited to as 30 examples, enough to confirm the Guinness World Records land speed record. Horsepower, 1,578 horsepower, torque, 1,180 pound-feet, 0 to 60 miles per hour, 2.6 seconds, top speed, 304 miles per hour. Hennessy Venom F5. Hennessy has been known for its insane designs over the years, so the Texas-based tuner decided to build the car from scratch. Launched with the Venom GT in 2011, it remained in production until 2017, with only 17 built. However, it wasn't until 2016 that we learned that Hennessy was working on a successor to the GT, and this one would be even better than its predecessor. I didn't betray you. Dubbed the Venom F5, the supercar was powered by his all-new V8 producing over 1,800 horses and around 1,200 pounds-to-foot of torque. All propulsion was sent to the rear wheels via a 7-speed automatic. The tuner automaker claims the Venom F5 will allow him to sprint to 60 miles per hour in less than 3 seconds, with a top speed of 311 miles per hour. The latest clock on NASA's Florida runway is 271.6 miles per hour, and has improved with each run. But Hennessy hasn't ruled it out yet, as he's not done yet and plans to hit his ultimate goal of 311 miles per hour. Hennessy has Venom F5, he's 311 miles per hour. Do you think you can reach the milestone? Horsepower, 1,817 horsepower, torque, 1,193 pound-feet, 0 to 60 miles per hour, and LT, 3.0 seconds, top speed, 311 miles per hour. Koenigsegg Yes Go Absolut. Just when Jesko thought it was the Swedish automaker's ultimate machine, the company decided to create a hyper version of the supercar with the suffix Absolut. The Yes Go Absolut launched in 2020, and the company has worked on aerodynamics and high-speed handling to make it incredibly fast. Modifications such as the extended rear hood, rear wheel cover and lowered suspension have reduced the drag coefficient to just 0.278. There are no front wheel fins and a huge rear wing, and the air ducts in the front hood are also closed. His $2.8 million, 1,600 horsepower Absolut Jesko has a top speed of 330 miles per hour. However, it must be remembered that this is a theoretical maximum speed. In practice, the car has not yet reached it. The first model came out of his oven in May 2022, so we'll be able to see it outdoors soon. All in all, we'd definitely be disappointed if this turned out to be yet another Tuatara fiasco. Price. Horsepower, 1,600 horsepower, torque, 1,106 pound-feet, 0 to 60 miles per hour, and LT, 3.0 top speed, 330 miles per hour. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.